Welcome to my video, Goku vs. Superman, which isn't what this video is about. Sorta. But when people talk about Goku versus Superman, they always talk about how strong Superman is and what he can do, but no one ever talks about Goku's true feats, which is exactly what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what Goku can do and what he cannot. So let's look at Dragon Ball. Goku's power level during his first ever Kamehameha was around 10. He was able to blow up a car, so that puts Goku's blast at about 1 TNT explosion. That won't damage anything on a planetary scale. But let's go look at the next big thing in the universe. Piccolo blowing up the moon. He was using around 135 power on the moon. We know this because Master Roshi's power level was about 135 when he also blew up the moon. So to be able to blow up the moon, you would need about 30 quintillion piles of TNT. So 135 power level has to be equal to that explosion to destroy the moon. Now, let's move on to the next event. Could Vegeta have blown up the Earth when he threatened to? Well, to blow up the Earth, you would need a power level of about 6,950. Why? Well, because if you take 136 and times it by 50, because the Earth is 50 times bigger than the Moon, roughly you would need about 6,000 power level to blow it up. Sees the matchup so far with DBZ. So, Vegeta was well strong enough to blow up the Earth at this point, but could Goku blow up Jupiter? Or at least a planet the size of Jupiter if it was threatening to crash into Earth or something like that? Well, let's dive in a little further and find out. To blow up Jupiter is about 1,000 times larger than the Earth, so how does this come out in power levels? Well, if you take 6,950 and times it by 1,000, you will get the power needed to blow up Jupiter. It comes out to around 6 million power needed to blow it up. So, only Final Form Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku could blow up the Jupiter. Now, let's take its solar level. Could Goku blow up the Sun? The Sun is 1 million times bigger than the Earth, so take 6,950 and times it by 1 million. So that is the power needed to blow up the Sun. It's 6 billion. And blowing up one Sun can equal 1 supernova damage attack. And it takes 50 supernovas to defeat Superman as it's stated in his comics. So not even Super Saiyan 3 Goku can do this. His power level is only 8 billion in the end of the Buu arc, but Goku still has a chance. Could Super Saiyan God Goku take on Supes? Well, most would say there's no way to determine his power level, but what if I tell you there is enough evidence in the movie to determine how strong Goku is? To determine that, you have to look at Beerus. He effortlessly beat all of the Z fighters. So we need to determine Beerus' at 1% power. To do so, we have to look at everyone's power at the end of the Buu arc. Piccolo's power is 550 million. Fat Buu is 2.5 billion. Super Saiyan 3 Goku's 8.4 billion. Super Saiyan Gotenks is 3.5 billion. Mystic Gohan is 35 billion. Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta is 3.2 billion. Android 18, 300 million. Tien, 800,000, Yamcha, 600,000, and Krillin is 1 million, equal to second form Frieza. And we know Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta gets beyond Goku's power when he gets pissed off at Beerus. So he puts him to about 10 billion at that point. Now, to get Beerus' power level, we need to combine them together. This is at 1% power, I tell you. It's 82 billion. Now, let's take it to 100% power. Beerus' power at 100% equals to about 82 trillion. And Super Saiyan God Goku made Beerus go at it at about 70%. So Super Saiyan God Goku's power is at 2 trillion. That's a lot. At this stage, Goku can do 333 damage worth of supernovas. That would kill Superman already. But just for laughs, let's take it and times it by 50 for Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So, it times it by 50, of course, because that's what a Super Saiyan transformation does. There's no reason why it wouldn't. It's just a Super Saiyan transformation, just in God form. So, at the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, Goku's power level will be over 150 trillion. That's enough to defeat over 500 Supermen at once. Okay, so you still have your doubts. Well, I can tell you. Let's compare the planets and the stars, shall we? So we have our moon, which is smaller than Mercury. And we have Earth, which seems to be huge compared to these other stars. I'm going to show you right here. Now, compare that to Neptune. It seems really small, and compared to Jupiter, Neptune is small. And now, let's compare Jupiter to our sun. Jupiter small makes us super small. Now compare this sun to other suns like Sirius A. Now look at the orange giant Pollux. It dwarfs our sun, and it's dwarfed by other suns. Now let's compare all of these suns to the largest studied sun we have out there, which is the Canis Majoris. See, not even Goku has enough power to destroy this type of sun. You need a power level of over 558 quintillion. And that's the size of the Earth compared to this sun. This sun is super huge. That's why he's not a galaxy buster. Oh, and Superman fans, not even Superman can survive this star going into supernova, because it's not a supernova, it'd be a hypernova, which would be like having over 100 supernovas at once. So take a look at this clip.
This is the dying star, VY Canis Majoris. It's more than 1 billion miles across. Like all stars, it's a giant nuclear fusion reactor, pumping energy outward. At the same time, the star's extreme gravity crushes inward. For a few million years, fusion and gravity are locked in standoff. But when the star runs out of fuel, fusion stops, and the stalemate ends. Gravity wins. In a millisecond, the core shrinks to a fraction of its original size, and a baby black hole is born. Immediately, it starts to cannibalize what's left of the star.
As matter swirls into the black hole, it gets incredibly hot, and there are magnetic forces and frictional forces, and it's just a witch's brew, a nightmare what's going on right above the surface of the black hole.
The new black hole in the middle keeps feeding on the body of the star around it. It eats the gas so fast, it chokes and coughs, blasting out huge beams of energy.
They basically eat their way out from the star. This happens in milliseconds. It happens before the rest of the star even knows the core is gone. And so basically, the star is dead before it hits the ground.
Finally, the star explodes. In 1 second, it blasts out 100 times more energy than our sun will produce over its entire life. What's left is a new black hole and 2 jets of energy hurtling through the universe at the speed of light. These jets are called gamma-ray bursts.
They're incredibly energetic events. In terms of raw energy and power, gamma-ray bursts are second only to the Big Bang itself.
Most of them last only a few seconds, and they fry anything in their way.
They're so intense that if there was a gamma-ray burster in the region of our galaxy near our solar system, it could literally vaporize the entire planet.
Fortunately, most gamma-ray bursts occur outside our galaxy.
If you wish, go ahead and do your own research, but I promise you'll either get the same numbers I did or higher numbers, because I did mine at the minimum damage. So, screw attack. This message is for you. I did your work for you. I researched and added up Goku's power, so stop undermining him. The first death battle was right. Superman stomps Goku. But the second one was wrong. You even admitted to not researching Goku the second time because Superman has infinite power, which he doesn't. I'm going to put the link in the description to a video that proves he does not have infinite power, because you guys didn't do your research. So nobody say that. So, until next time.